So, today I want to discuss a topic that everyone is always trying to find the answer to. It's a question I get asked all the time, and it's something that there isn't really a straightforward answer or a secret. And this is something I want to discuss a little bit further with everyone today. So, that is, what is the best workout split for building muscle? So this is something that everyone's always kind of chopping and changing. Everyone's going to do a certain workout or a certain split for a while. They maybe don't see the results they get, or they see something else that comes up on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and someone's saying, oh, this is the best thing that you should do, and then they'll go and change and they'll go and do something else. And they'll do that for a couple of months, and then they'll see someone online mention that you should do this, or someone in the gym or a personal trainer or someone will say, no, this is the best way of doing it, this is what I did and this is how I got my best results. You'll see Ronnie Coleman used to train 2 times a day, 7 days a week or whatever. You think, oh shit, that's what I need to do. I'll start training 2 times a day. You'll do that for a few weeks and then you'll either get burnt out or you won't make progress. Then you'll see, oh, hang on, Dorian Yates used to train 4 times a week for 45 minutes. Maybe I'll do that. And all you end up doing is yo-yoing up and down, chopping and changing between multiple different things, never really sticking to one thing long enough to actually see if it is going to bring you the results that you want. So, what is actually the best workout split for building muscle? Well, the answer is, it depends on a few factors which we're going to discuss today. What your body type is, what you're used to doing, how advanced and whereabouts you are in your training, what is easiest to accommodate into your day-to-day life, and what you enjoy the most. So there's 5 things there really that you got to factor in. So we'll look at, first of all, what is your body type? How do you best make progress? What kind of person are you? Are you a hard gainer? Are you someone that's naturally really skinny and you struggle to put on muscle, you struggle to put on weight? Are you someone that can just put on weight really easily and get quite fat and get quite heavy really easily? At first, this doesn't really seem too relevant, but when you look into it, generally people with a really, really fast metabolism will burn through a lot of fat and a lot of energy real quick. So for people like that, people that are generally quite lean and find it hard to put on weight, if you're training 7 days a week, twice a day, you're just going to be burying yourself into the ground. Your metabolism is going to be so quick. The amount of food that you're going to need just in order to actually grow and recover is going to be ridiculous. So the chances are, if you're that kind of person with a really quick metabolism, you'll benefit more from training with a slightly lower volume and possibly less frequency as well. Less time in the gym, more time spent recovering, eating, sleeping. If you're someone that is quite a bit of an endomorph, so you can you're quite big, you're quite heavy, you can gain fat quite easily, but you struggle to keep the fat off and you struggle to actually build muscle and look in shape, then for you guys, I would probably recommend looking at higher volume training, burn more calories, get your metabolism sped up, more time in the gym, more energy expenditure throughout the week. Pardon me. The next thing is quite a very relevant topic. Is whereabouts are you in your training? How far along are you? So this one comes into play, I would say, people that are very, very new to training, people that haven't really had that much experience in the gym, you would benefit more from hitting everything a little bit more frequently because your recovery capabilities will be better. So you could essentially, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but you could train, let's say, legs every day and still grow. Whereas if you're someone who's been training for 15 years and you hit legs every day, you would probably shrink because you wouldn't be recovering enough. You would burn through muscle essentially, and you'd probably get smaller and you would get injured and you would just be burnt out and you would stop progressing your lifts. So if you're quite early on in your training, then hitting things with higher frequency is going to be the best kind of workout split for you. A couple of examples of this would be an upper-lower split. So you could essentially do upper body with a chest focus on a Monday, and lower body with a quad focus on the Tuesday. Have Wednesday off as a rest day. Have upper body with a back focus on the Thursday, and then have lower body with a quad focus or hamstring focus on the Friday. And then maybe have Saturday off and then repeat back to the chest focused push on the Sunday, and keep it going as that continued cycle. That way you're hitting every body part a minimum of twice a week. So that's always a good one. Another one is the push pull legs, which is what I'm currently doing as well. It's probably my favorite split. So push pull legs again, you can do push pull, rest, legs, rest, push pull, and repeat like that. So everything gets hit pretty much every 8 days, or 7 or 8 days. Or you could do push pull rest, and then every two, you do 2 sessions, 1 rest day, 2 sessions, 1 rest day. So push pull rest, legs, push, rest, pull, push, pull, legs, rest, like that, and do it that way. So that way, again, those 2 splits, you're going to be hitting everything twice in every kind of 7 or 8 days. And every session that you do, whether it's an upper lower split or a push pull leg split, every session is going to have all the big, heavy, hard exercises, all the big compound movements that are ultimately key for building muscle and getting thicker and stronger. So every session is going to be either some kind of squat, some kind of deadlift, some kind of press. Whereas if you're doing like a single muscle workout, like an arm day or a shoulder day, likely chances those sessions are almost wasted on people that are quite early on in their training, because you're going in, you're pumping your arms up and you're fucking off. And that session, essentially, if you're trying to just grow and get big and heavy and strong, is just a bit of a waste, really, because you could have spent that session hitting heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, the big bread and butter movements that are going to really build that thickness and that strength that you need to get a lot bigger and put on more mass and put on more size. No one's ever put on 20 kilos of muscle by just doing arm sessions or lateral raises non-stop. You look at any top pro bodybuilder or any top athlete that you follow that's got a lot of size and a lot of muscle, any single one of those will be doing heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, heavy pressing, whether it's a stiff leg deadlift or an RDL or a rack pull, any kind of deadlift. Again, squats, any kind of barbell squat, Smith machine squat, hack squat, pendulum squat, V squat. They'll be doing a heavy variant of squat every week. And again, with the pressing, whether it's a barbell press, an incline press, a dumbbell press, a Smith machine press, they'll be strong at those movements, and they'll be doing those movements week in, week out. And they're the exercises that are going to build you that mass and are going to build you that strength. So prioritize your sessions around those key compound exercises. So that's the kind of like the main one, really, that I would say is, if you're early on in your training, don't waste your time doing an arm day or a shoulder day or an abs and calves day or anything like that. Every single time that you go into the gym, you want to be hitting those big hard movements. So an upper lower split or push pull legs would be ideal. If you're a bit further on in your training, and I wouldn't even class myself in this category at the moment, if you're someone who's been training for 10, 15 years, you've built a ton of muscle, you're heavy, you're big, you're thick, you're strong, and you want to work at refining certain areas, or maybe you're not someone like that, maybe you've just got to a point where you're like, do you know what, I'm happy with the size that I'm at, I want bigger shoulders, I want more capped delts, I want more sweep in my quads, I want bigger hamstrings, I want my arms to be bigger, I need bigger triceps or whatever. And if that's where you're at, then yeah, by all means, I would look at prioritizing those muscles on certain days. So maybe you'd want to chuck in an arm day, or you want to chuck in like a shoulder day, or you can just hit those certain muscle groups more frequently. So you may benefit from doing let's say a shoulder and chest day, and then a bit later on you might do a shoulder and tricep day. So then you're hitting your shoulders twice in that week. If you're trying to build if you're trying to build up your arms, this is one that I used to do as well, and actually I'm still currently doing this, is I'll do obviously my triceps on my push day, my biceps on my pull day, and I'll also do one exercise of biceps and one exercise of triceps at the beginning of my leg day as well. That way I'm actually hitting part of my arm pretty much every workout. Obviously with your arms they recover a lot quicker, so it's a lot easier to do that. So that's another thing that I would definitely look at doing. If you're looking to kind of bring up a weaker body part, then look at a workout split that's going to enable you to hit that with a bit more frequency. So they're the kind of like the main pointers I really wanted to kind of go over with what is the best workout split to building muscle. So whereabouts you are in your training is relevant. What kind of body type that you have is relevant. And And lastly, really, what is going to be easiest to accommodate into your day-to-day life? If you're someone that, let's say, you work really long hours, you've got a busy home schedule, you're only able to be in the gym for, let's say, 40 minutes 3 times a week. You don't want to spend 40 minutes doing arms or doing shoulders or doing calves or doing abs or doing rear delts. If you've got 3 sessions to do 40 minutes, I would even look at doing a full body workout in that time. I would go to the gym, I would do maybe session 1, a deadlift focus with a little bit of upper body, a little bit of legs. Session 2, maybe let's say a squat focus with a bit more legs and a little bit of upper body. And in session 3, an upper body focus, hitting like all the heavy pressing movements, then with a little bit of legs in there as well, or maybe a little bit more deadlifts or an RDL. So again, that's another thing to look at. If you're someone who has got plenty of time and you can train 2-3 hours a day every day, then you may want to look at making things a bit more specialized to specific muscle groups. So maybe doing like 1 or 2 muscles in a workout, or even a push-pull legs might be more beneficial. But like I say, if you're someone that has only got limited time to train, don't waste that time doing like tons and tons of arms, or like 20 minutes of calves and abs and rear delts, and then realize that you've only got like 10 minutes left to do like a deadlift or squat or whatever, because you're not going to make the progress in that. If you want to really build muscle and get thicker and bigger all over, you're not going to benefit by doing all these fluff exercises. Prioritize the heavy stuff first, and then when you've got the time to do the lighter movements, the kind of like the pump up exercises, like your side lateral raises, your rear delts, your calves, biceps, triceps, whatever, hit those as a secondary priority. Unless, of course, you're someone that has a lot of size, you've got a lot of thickness, and you want to prioritize those areas. If you want to prioritize your arms, then by all means spend more time on that. But if you're someone that is just looking to build muscle and just get bigger all over, then yeah, it's always going to be the heavy movements, the big compound lifts. Prioritize those. They want to be the bulk of your workout, and then base everything else around those. So that's going to be how you should really program your split. Take into consideration how you grow, your body type, how far along you are, what your exact goal is. Do you want to just kind of stay the same size and just build bigger arms or shoulders, or do you want to get a lot bigger, a lot thicker, a lot heavier? And look at your day or your week realistically and think, okay, I've only got 30-40 minutes to train, I've only got about 3 workouts in. You need to make sure every single one of those counts, and that you're able to hit all those heavy lifts. So I hope this has helped and given a little bit more perspective on everything. Like I say, it's not really a straightforward answer. It's not something that I can say to you, right, you need to do shoulders and triceps on this day, hamstrings and quads on another day, back and whatever on another day, and that will be perfect. You'll just turn into fucking Ronnie Coleman. Like, it's not going to happen. It's very, very person dependent. And what I would say as well is give it time. When you're choosing a particular workout split, allow yourself enough time to actually see progress. If you're doing a split for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you just suddenly change it up, it's like you're not going to see tons of progress in that time anyway. Give it at least a good 3 or 4 months on a certain split before you decide, you know what, this isn't really working out for me. Give it a good amount of time to really kind of progress and really hit it as hard as you can. If you haven't made any progress in 3 or 4 months, then maybe you want to start looking at changing something up. But don't make the mistake that a lot of people make, which is trying something out, not really giving it the time, and then just changing it again, going to something else, trying it out for a few weeks and then changing it again, because then you're never going to know what's going to work and what isn't. So give it a good amount of time to actually work on that particular split and try and progress your lifts and see what happens and see if there's anything that you're lagging. You may discover that you might be doing like an upper lower split and you're getting a lot bigger, your back's getting really thick, you're getting heavier, you're putting on muscle, but your arms are still shit, in which case you may want to think, do you know what, I'll chuck in an extra day for arms, or I'll add maybe a little bit of arms on my leg day, or just increase the volume or the frequency of my arms. And then you can then almost adjust your split accordingly with how you're progressing and what your goals are. So yeah, that's pretty much the long answer in terms of what is the best workout split for you. If you guys have got any questions regarding how you should program your splits, if you want my opinion on what would be best for you individually as a person, by all means, just send me over an email, send me a message on Instagram, or however you want to do it, and ask me any questions that you got. I'm more than happy to help out or answer anything or give my advice or my opinion on anything. So yeah, I hope you found the video useful, and like I say, if you've got any questions, if you want me to go through everything, if you want any advice, then feel free to just kind of hit me up on social media.